Welcome to another journey of knowledge. Today we begin an in-depth investigation into one of the most talked about ingredients when it comes to natural health, apple cider vinegar. You've probably heard someone say it aids digestion, helps you lose weight, strengthens your immune system, or even serves as a natural detox. But is all of this true? To understand how we arrived at these claims, we must first look at the history of this simple yet fascinating food. Apple cider vinegar is not a recent fad. Long before social media and fad diets, it was already a part of the lives of ancient civilizations. The Egyptians, for example, used vinegar-based preparations as preservatives and also as medicines. In ancient Greece, Hippocrates, considered the father of medicine, recommended a mixture of vinegar and honey to treat coughs and respiratory infections. As early as ancient China, traditional medicine practitioners recommended fruit vinegar as a way to balance the body and prevent disease. This shows that we're talking about something that has spanned centuries and cultures, always leaving the impression of having special properties. But what did all these cultures perceive, each in their own way, to place such high value on this yellowish, acidic liquid? It was no coincidence. Over time, people realized that vinegar had a unique ability to preserve food, treat minor infections, and help the body recover from ailments. It was as if nature had provided a multifunctional solution in a simple bottle. From a chemical perspective, the secret lies in acetic acid, the main component of apple cider vinegar. It's what gives it its characteristic flavor and also many of its effects on the body. Furthermore, good quality apple cider vinegar contains natural enzymes, polyphenols, antioxidants, and even small amounts of minerals. When we talk about antioxidants, we're talking about molecules that fight free radicals, the agents that accelerate cellular aging and can contribute to chronic diseases. Another interesting point is that, despite being acidic, apple cider vinegar appears to help the body find balance. This may sound contradictory at first glance, but later on, we'll understand why an acidic food can have such positive effects on digestion, metabolism, and even blood sugar regulation. Modern science began to study apple cider vinegar more rigorously in the 20th century, but traditional accounts already pointed the way. When researchers analyzed populations that regularly consumed this food, they found a lower incidence of digestive problems, improved glycemic control, and even evidence of immune system support. Today, there are dozens of clinical studies published in scientific journals showing concrete benefits, especially regarding digestion and glycemic control. What makes apple cider vinegar so special is precisely this union of ancient wisdom and modern scientific confirmation. When different cultures around the world and at different times reached the same conclusion that this liquid helped maintain health, it was already a strong indication that there was something real behind it. Science, when investigating, only confirmed what the ancients already perceived in practice. But be careful. It's important to understand that apple cider vinegar is not a miracle cure. It's an ally, a tool that can help in various areas, but always within the context of healthy habits. If a person continues to eat an ultra-processed diet, sleep irregularly, and is sedentary, vinegar won't solve the problem alone. What it does is enhance the body's natural processes, helping it function better. And here is the key to understanding why apple cider vinegar has become so famous. It touches several different areas of the human body. It acts on digestion, metabolism, immunity, and even energy. It's like a gear that helps other gears turn more smoothly. And if you think all this is already fascinating, wait until you see what comes in the next chapter. We'll understand together how acetic acid, the main component of apple cider vinegar, directly affects your metabolism and your body's internal balance. Stay with me, because this explanation could change the way you look at your health. Now that we understand where apple cider vinegar comes from and why it has endured centuries of use, it's time to delve into a central point: acetic acid. It's the main chemical behind the benefits we hear so much about. But to understand how this compound works, we need to talk about a concept that many people hear about but few truly understand: body pH. Apple cider vinegar contains around 5% acetic acid. It may seem small, but it's enough to alter the functioning of some important physiological processes. This acid, when consumed in moderation, stimulates digestion, aids in the absorption of minerals, and even influences how the body handles glucose. But before we look at these effects, let's get the basics straight. pH is a scale that measures the acidity or alkalinity of a substance. The scale ranges from 0 to 14. Values below 7 indicate acidity. Values above 7 indicate alkalinity. 7 is considered neutral. Acetic acid, as its name suggests, has a low pH around 2.5. This means it's acidic, but not as acidic as the hydrochloric acid produced by the stomach itself, which can range from 1 to 3. And here's a common misconception. Many people believe that problems like heartburn or reflux mean they have too much stomach acid. The logic seems to make sense. If it burns, it must be excess acid, right? But in practice, the opposite is true. In most cases, the problem is precisely a lack of acid. This condition is called hyperchlorhydria, and it occurs when the stomach doesn't produce enough acid. The result: digestion slows, food ferments more than it should, and reflux sets in. This is where acetic acid can help. Because it's a mild acid, it acts as a natural booster to stomach acid, allowing digestion to return to its normal rhythm. This helps break down proteins, improves the absorption of minerals like iron, calcium, and magnesium, and creates a natural barrier against unwanted microorganisms. Another fundamental point: the human body is a master at maintaining pH balance. There is no such myth that the body is completely acidic, and that we need to alkalize it with miracle foods. The truth is that the body regulates blood pH with extreme precision, ranging between 7.35 and 7.45. If it deviates too much from this, life cannot be sustained. What can vary is the pH of urine, saliva, and local fluids. So, apple cider vinegar doesn't directly change blood pH. What it does is aid digestive and metabolic processes that indirectly support overall balance. If this is making sense to you so far, stay with me. In the next few minutes, we'll see how something as simple as a spoonful of apple cider vinegar can directly influence your blood sugar, insulin, and even your daily energy levels. But before we go any further, let's talk about another fascinating detail. When acetic acid reaches the small intestine, it converts to acetate, which is classified as a short-chain fatty acid. These acids are literally fuel. They serve as a quick source of energy for the body, while also feeding the beneficial bacteria in the gut microbiome. In other words, apple cider vinegar doesn't just act in the stomach, it continues to exert positive effects long after initial digestion. These short-chain fatty acids are known to improve insulin sensitivity, support appetite balance, nourish the gut flora, strengthening immunity, reduce silent inflammatory processes that affect metabolism. It's as if a simple spoonful of vinegar can trigger a cascade of benefits, starting in the stomach and spreading throughout the body. Another detail that science has shown us: when acetic acid reaches the liver, it participates in metabolic pathways similar to those of ketone bodies, fuels produced when we burn fat. This means it can contribute to a more efficient metabolism by encouraging the body to use fat for energy. Just imagine, you add apple cider vinegar to your routine, and, over time, you could be supporting not only digestion, but also energy, metabolism, and even weight loss. And all this is just the beginning. In the next chapter, we'll explore in depth how apple cider vinegar directly affects glucose metabolism and how it can become a powerful ally in combating insulin resistance. This could be the turning point for those struggling with high blood sugar. Stay with me, because you won't want to miss this explanation. Did you know that apple cider vinegar can be a powerful ally in controlling blood glucose? In this chapter, we'll explore how this simple ingredient can positively influence glucose metabolism and help combat insulin resistance. What is insulin resistance? Insulin resistance is a condition where the body's cells don't respond properly to insulin, the hormone responsible for allowing glucose to enter cells to be used for energy. This leads to high blood glucose levels, which, over time, can result in type 2 diabetes. Factors such as poor diet, a sedentary lifestyle, and genetic predisposition contribute to the development of this condition. This is where apple cider vinegar comes in as a potential natural ally. How can apple cider vinegar help? Scientific studies suggest that apple cider vinegar can improve insulin sensitivity and help reduce blood glucose levels after meals. This is due to the acetic acid present in vinegar, which can interfere with carbohydrate digestion and slow glucose absorption. Furthermore, apple cider vinegar can increase glucose uptake by muscle cells, promoting better glycemic control. What does the science say? Research indicates that consuming apple cider vinegar before meals can reduce postprandial after-meal blood glucose levels, improve insulin sensitivity in people with insulin resistance, helps reduce HbA1c levels, a marker of long-term glycemic control. It's important to emphasize that, while promising, apple cider vinegar is not a substitute for conventional medical treatments and should be used as a complement to a healthy lifestyle. How to incorporate apple cider vinegar into your routine. To enjoy the benefits of apple cider vinegar, consider the following tips. Dilution. Mix 1 to 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water. Consumption. Drink this mixture before main meals. Balanced diet. Maintain a diet rich in fiber and low in refined carbohydrates. Physical activity. Exercise regularly to improve insulin sensitivity. Now that you understand how apple cider vinegar can positively influence glucose metabolism, why not try incorporating it into your routine? In the next chapter, we'll explore the effects of apple cider vinegar on the digestive system and how it can improve gut health. Stay with me, as each step of this journey can bring significant transformations to your health. Efficient digestion is critical for nutrient absorption and maintaining overall health. Apple cider vinegar not only adds flavor to meals but can also play an important role in the functioning of your digestive system. How does digestion work? Digestion begins in the mouth, where food is mechanically broken down and mixed with enzymes present in saliva. Food then passes through the stomach, where hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes break down proteins and prepare nutrients for absorption in the small intestine. The small intestine is the primary site of nutrient absorption, while the large intestine absorbs water and electrolytes and is also home to a complex population of microorganisms called the gut microbiome. The role of apple cider vinegar in digestion. Apple cider vinegar contains acetic acid, which can contribute to digestion in several ways, stimulating stomach acidity. For people with low gastric acidity, vinegar can help raise stomach pH to optimal levels, facilitating protein breakdown, improving carbohydrate digestion. Acetic acid can slow down carbohydrate digestion, preventing glucose spikes and promoting a smoother process. Prebiotic effect. Although vinegar itself does not contain fiber, it can promote the growth of beneficial bacteria in the gut, supporting a balanced microbiome. Scientific evidence. Studies show that apple cider vinegar can. Symptoms of indigestion in people with hyperchlorhydria, low stomach acid. Aids in the digestion of meals rich in carbohydrates and proteins, modulating the rate of absorption. Improves the feeling of fullness after meals, indirectly helping with weight control. Despite its promise, vinegar is not a substitute for medical treatments for serious digestive problems, such as severe reflux or erosive gastritis, but it can be a safe supplement for healthy individuals. Consumption tips for digestion. Dilution. Always dilute 1 to 2 teaspoons in a glass of water before meals to protect tooth enamel and the stomach. Time of intake. Consume 10 to 15 minutes before meals to stimulate adequate acid secretion. Combination with fiber. Include vegetables, seeds, and whole grains to optimize the effects on the gut microbiome. Symptom monitoring. If discomfort, heartburn, or reflux occur, adjust the dose or consult a professional. If you're already seeing how apple cider vinegar can transform your digestion, imagine the benefits when we combine it with the immune and detoxification support we'll cover in the next chapters. Stay with me as the journey continues, and every detail can significantly impact your health. The immune system is the body's line of defense against viruses, bacteria, and environmental toxins. Maintaining strong immunity isn't just about reacting to diseases, but also about creating internal conditions that favor prevention. Apple cider vinegar emerges as an interesting ally in this context, acting indirectly and complementary. How does the immune system work? The immune system is composed of lymphocytes T and B, natural killer cells, antibodies, cytokines, and physical barriers such as skin and mucous membranes. It relies heavily on adequate nutrition, a balanced gut microbiome, and chemical signals that regulate inflammation and the immune response. The gut is particularly important. Approximately 70% of the body's immune cells are located there. Gut health, therefore, directly influences the body's ability to detect and fight pathogens. Effect of apple cider vinegar on immunity. Apple cider vinegar contains bioactive compounds such as acetic acid, polyphenols, and antioxidants, which can impact the immune system. Modulation of the gut microbiome. By promoting beneficial bacteria, vinegar helps balance the gut flora, which is essential for antibody production and inflammation regulation. Antioxidant action. The polyphenols present in vinegar can neutralize free radicals that cause oxidative stress, a factor that weakens the immune system. Anti-inflammatory effect. Chronic low-grade inflammation compromises immune function. Studies suggest that acetic acid can reduce inflammatory markers, helping to create a more favorable environment for the immune response. Indirect support via glucose control. High blood sugar levels weaken the immune system. Vinegar helps stabilize blood glucose levels after meals, creating ideal conditions for the immune system to function properly. Scientific evidence research shows that regular consumption of apple cider vinegar can modulate gut bacteria, including lactobacillus, essential for immunity. Studies in animal models indicate a reduction in systemic inflammation after acetic acid supplementation. In humans, vinegar can help maintain more stable glucose and insulin levels, contributing to long-term immune health. Although the results are promising, it is important to remember that vinegar does not replace vaccines, medications, or prescribed treatments. It works as a preventative and complementary support to a healthy lifestyle. How to use apple cider vinegar for immunity. Daily dosage: 1 to 2 tablespoons, diluted in water, consumed in the morning or before meals. Integration with foods rich in micronutrients: vitamin C, oranges, acerola cherries, zinc seeds, chestnuts, and selenium. Brazil nuts enhance the antioxidant effect of vinegar. Consistency: immunity is strengthened through daily habits, not occasional consumption. If you didn't already, imagine that an ingredient as simple as apple cider vinegar could support your immunity. Wait until you understand how it aids in detoxification and metabolism. Stay with me, as each chapter reveals practical strategies to transform your health from the inside out. Body detoxification is a concept that goes beyond fads. It is about facilitating the elimination of toxins that, when accumulated, harm vital organs. Inflammation and metabolism. The liver, kidneys, intestines, skin, and even the lungs are constantly working on this process. Apple cider vinegar appears as a natural adjunct that can improve the efficiency of this internal cleansing. How does the body detoxify naturally? Our body has integrated detoxification systems. Liver converts toxic substances into less harmful compounds to be eliminated through bile or urine. Kidneys filter the blood, removing water-soluble waste and maintaining electrolyte balance. Intestines eliminate toxins with feces, aided by healthy intestinal flora. Lungs expel waste gases, including carbon dioxide and other volatile substances. Skin perspiration helps eliminate some toxins and regulate body temperature. To optimize these processes, acid-base balance, adequate hydration, and a functional diet are essential. This is where apple cider vinegar can have a significant impact. Apple cider vinegar as a detoxifying agent. Apple cider vinegar contains acetic acid, polyphenols, enzymes, and trace minerals that contribute to detoxification support. Acetic acid may improve liver enzyme activity, promoting more efficient elimination of toxins. Regulates body pH. Despite being acidic, vinegar acts as a modulator of internal pH after metabolism, creating ideal environments for enzymatic reactions and waste elimination. Stimulates digestion. Efficient digestion means less waste buildup in the intestine, reducing the production of toxins such as ammonia and fermented substances. Supports gut flora. Beneficial bacteria aided by vinegar reduce the formation of intestinal toxins and strengthen the intestinal barrier, preventing the translocation of harmful substances into the blood. Scientific evidence. Research shows that the acetic acid in apple cider vinegar improves liver lipid elimination in animal studies, reducing hepatic stress. It can help reduce the accumulation of glucose and toxins in the blood, promoting indirect metabolic detoxification. It promotes the digestion of proteins and fats, reducing the production of toxic waste in the intestine. Although vinegar is not a substitute for medical procedures or specific diets in cases of severe poisoning, it is a safe supplement for those seeking to optimize the body's natural detox function. How to use apple cider vinegar for detox. Proper dilution: 1 to 2 tablespoons in 200 milliliters of water, and can be taken before meals to stimulate digestion. Combination with fiber and cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, radish, and flaxseed enhance the elimination of liver toxins. Continuous hydration. Water is essential for the kidneys and liver, ensuring efficient waste transport. Daily consistency. The detoxifying effect is maintained with regular, not sporadic, habits. If you think detoxification ends here, wait until you understand how apple cider vinegar directly impacts metabolism and weight control. Stay with me until the next chapter to discover strategies that can transform your body naturally. Energy metabolism is the set of processes that transform nutrients into usable energy for the body. It depends on enzymes, hormones, and precise regulation of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. When these processes are imbalanced, we experience fatigue, weight retention, and even mood swings. Apple cider vinegar can be an ally in this balance, helping to optimize energy use and reduce glucose and insulin spikes. How metabolism works. Our body converts nutrients into energy through complex biochemical processes. Carbohydrates gives glucose, gives immediate energy or glycogen storage. Fats gives fatty acids, gives beta oxidation, gives prolonged energy. Proteins gives amino acids, gives used for muscle synthesis or converted into energy when needed. Insulin plays a crucial role, facilitating the entry of glucose into cells. When there is insulin resistance, common in prediabetes and type 2 diabetes, energy metabolism is compromised, causing fat accumulation and fatigue. Apple cider vinegar for energy control. Apple cider vinegar contains acetic acid, which directly influences metabolism, reducing glycemic spikes. Studies show that drinking vinegar before carbohydrate-rich meals reduces blood glucose elevations by up to 30%. This means less stress on the pancreas and less excessive insulin release. Increasing insulin sensitivity. Acetic acid can improve the cell's ability to absorb glucose, promoting more efficient energy production, stimulating fat burning. In animal models, acetic acid increased the expression of genes linked to lipid oxidation, favoring the use of fat for energy. Appetite control. Studies indicate that vinegar can prolong the feeling of fullness, reducing excess calorie consumption. Impact on insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is a condition in which the body requires more insulin to process the same amount of glucose. This generates cycles of fat storage, inflammation, and metabolic stress. Apple cider vinegar acts strategically. It improves post-meal glucose absorption, preventing the pancreas from producing large amounts of insulin. It reduces the accumulation of abdominal fat, a risk factor for type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. It supports the gut microbiome, which influences insulin regulation and energy metabolism. Practical usage suggestions before meals. 1 to 2 tablespoons diluted in water help reduce glucose spikes. Combination with proteins. Taking vinegar with eggs, fish, or lean meats helps improve postprandial metabolism. Consistent hydration. The effects of vinegar are enhanced when consumed as part of a proper fluid routine. Frequency. Daily consistency, without overdoing it, ensures the body benefits sustainably. Imagine being able to transform your daily energy and control sugar spikes naturally. In the next chapter, we'll explore how apple cider vinegar directly influences gut health and the microbiome, a fundamental part of any metabolic transformation. The gut microbiome is the collection of trillions of microorganisms that live in the digestive tract. They play crucial roles in metabolism, immunity, digestion, and even mental health. When the balance between good and bad bacteria is disrupted, problems such as constipation, chronic inflammation, insulin resistance, and even mood swings arise. Apple cider vinegar, especially raw and unfiltered, contains probiotics and acids that can support this ecosystem. How the microbiome influences health. The microbiome is responsible for functions that go far beyond digestion. Production of vitamins B12, K2, and some B vitamins are synthesized by healthy gut bacteria. Regulation of the immune system. Up to 70% of immune cells are found in the gut. A balanced microbiome helps modulate inflammatory responses. Nutrient metabolism. Intestinal microorganisms transform fiber into short-chain fatty acids, which are sources of energy for intestinal cells and modulate satiety. Protection against pathogens. Good bacteria compete with harmful microorganisms, preventing infections. When the microbiome is imbalanced, the following may occur: constipation or chronic diarrhea, low-grade systemic inflammation, difficulty losing weight, increased food sensitivities. Apple cider vinegar as a gut supporter. Apple cider vinegar offers direct benefits to the microbiome. Natural probiotics. Raw vinegar contains live bacteria that help repopulate the gut. Acetic acid. This organic acid creates a slightly acidic environment in the stomach and intestines, promoting the growth of good bacteria and inhibiting pathogens. Indirect prebiotics. Polyphenols and other compounds in vinegar feed beneficial microorganisms, aiding in the production of short-chain fatty acids. Improved digestion. Acetic acid helps break down proteins and fats, facilitating nutrient absorption and reducing gas and abdominal discomfort. Practical strategies for using vinegar for intestinal balance. Proper diet design recommended. Use 1 to 2 tablespoons in 200 to 300 milliliters of water before meals stimulates the growth of good bacteria without irritating the stomach. Integration with fermented foods. Combining it with yogurt, kefir, or sauerkraut enhances the probiotic effect. Daily consistency. The microbiome responds better to regular stimulation. Drinking vinegar daily helps maintain balance. Variety of fiber. Fiber-rich foods, vegetables, seeds, legumes work synergistically with vinegar to nourish good bacteria. Stay with me until the end, because in the next chapter we'll explore how apple cider vinegar can strengthen your immune system, an essential pillar for long-term health and disease prevention. The immune system is our natural defense against viruses, bacteria, and environmental toxins. Strong immunity depends on multiple factors: adequate nutrition, a balanced microbiome, stable hormone levels, and an efficient metabolism. Apple cider vinegar emerges as an interesting ally, indirectly acting on immunity by modulating inflammation, balancing blood sugar, and providing bioactive antioxidant compounds. How immunity works. The immune system can be divided into 2 main branches. Innate immunity. This is the body's immediate line of defense, including cells such as macrophages, neutrophils, and NK cells. It responds quickly to invaders but is non-specific. Adaptive immunity includes B and T, which specifically recognize pathogens and develop immunological memory. It is responsible for the long-lasting response and effectiveness of vaccines. Immune function depends on micronutrients, zinc, selenium, vitamins A, C, D, and E. Hormonal balance. Chronic high cortisol can suppress immunity. Controlled inflammation. Excessive inflammation impairs immune signaling. Gut health. Up to 70% of immune cells are found in the intestine. A balanced microbiome is essential for effective immunity. Apple cider vinegar and immunity. Apple cider vinegar influences immunity in several ways. Antioxidant action. Compounds such as polyphenols neutralize free radicals that damage immune cells. Glycemic regulation. Reducing insulin and glucose spikes prevents chronic inflammation, which compromises immune function. Microbiome support. Healthy gut bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that modulate inflammation and immune signaling. Local antimicrobial effect. Inadequate concentrations. Acetic acid inhibits the growth of pathogenic bacteria in the digestive tract, reducing immune overload. Clinical studies suggest that taking diluted apple cider vinegar before meals can reduce postprandial glucose levels and improve insulin sensitivity, effects that indirectly strengthen the immune system. Practical strategies for immunity with vinegar. Regular, not excessive consumption, 1 to 2 tablespoons diluted in water per day. Pairing with foods rich in vitamin C, citrus fruits, peppers, and berries enhance the antioxidant effect. Use in dressings and marinades. Mixing with olive oil, herbs, and spices adds benefits without increasing sugar or sodium. Integration with a healthy lifestyle. Adequate sleep, moderate exercise, and stress management are essential. Vinegar enhances its effects when integrated into healthy habits. In the next chapter, let's explore how apple cider vinegar can act as a natural detoxifier, helping the body eliminate accumulated toxins and improve overall health. Detoxification is a concept that many associate with extreme diets, juices, or commercial products. But in reality, the body has highly efficient systems for eliminating toxins. The liver, kidneys, intestines, skin, and lungs work continuously to filter and eliminate metabolic waste. Apple cider vinegar can be a natural ally in this process, helping to optimize metabolic, digestive, and liver functions. How detoxification works. The body transforms toxins into less harmful compounds through enzymatic phases in the liver. Phase 1. Cytochrome P450 enzymes modify toxins in reactive forms, ready for conjugation. Phase 2. Reactive compounds are conjugated with molecules such as glycine, glutathione or sulfate, making them water-soluble. Excretion. Kidneys filter water-soluble toxins, while bile and intestines eliminate others. The skin and lungs also participate, but to a lesser extent. Maintaining a balanced pH, a healthy microbiome, and an active metabolism is crucial for the efficiency of these processes. Apple cider vinegar as a detoxification ally improves digestion. Acetic acid increases stomach acidity, promoting the breakdown of proteins and the absorption of nutrients essential for liver function. Indirect liver support. Polyphenols and antioxidants in vinegar reduce oxidative stress in the liver, preventing long-term damage. Microbiome balance by stimulating the growth of beneficial bacteria and inhibiting pathogens. Vinegar helps reduce circulating endotoxins that overload the liver. pH regulation. Although the body strictly maintains a blood pH, small variations in the intestine can optimize enzymatic reactions that support detoxification. Studies indicate that diluted vinegar before meals improves digestion, reduces excessive intestinal fermentation, and can reduce the body's toxic load. Practical strategies for detoxification with vinegar. Proper dilution. 1 to 2 tablespoons in 200 milliliters of water before meals. Fiber combination. Raw vegetables, seeds, and legumes help bind toxins in the intestinal tract. Constant hydration. Water is essential for the kidneys to eliminate soluble compounds. Daily routine. Incorporating apple cider vinegar consistently enhances long-term effects. We've reached the end of this detailed journey about apple cider vinegar and its role in metabolism, digestion, immunity, and detoxification. Throughout these chapters, we've seen that the science behind each effect isn't just a theoretical concept. It reflects how our body functions in harmony with natural foods and healthy habits. Understanding how the digestive, liver, kidney, and immune systems interact gives us the power to act consciously and strategically. Science applied to daily practice balanced metabolism, regulating blood glucose and insulin, combined with reducing chronic inflammation, is essential for preventing metabolic diseases. Apple cider vinegar is a powerful ally in this regard. Optimized digestion. With acetic acid, natural enzymes, and fiber, the body better absorbs nutrients, reduces unwanted fermentation, and protects the intestine from microbiome imbalances. Strengthened immune system. By reducing oxidative stress, supporting the liver, and balancing intestinal bacteria, we can maintain more efficient natural defenses. Natural detox. Apple cider vinegar, hydration, and a proper diet help the liver and kidneys eliminate toxins, promoting a feeling of lightness and energy. Simple changes that make a big impact include diluted apple cider vinegar before meals. Eat whole fiber-rich foods to balance your gut and metabolism. Stay hydrated to support your kidneys and liver. Engage in regular physical activity to stimulate circulation and cellular metabolism. Avoid excess sugar, ultra-processed foods, and environmental toxins which overload your body. If you apply these practices consistently, the results will appear not only in your body, but in your energy, mood, and overall well-being. Health transformation doesn't happen overnight, but with each conscious decision, each healthy habit you incorporate. Apple cider vinegar is just one tool within a larger system. The power of knowing your body, understanding its needs, and acting intelligently. Start today, one small step at a time. Watch how your metabolism responds, how digestion improves, how your immunity strengthens, and how your energy returns. This isn't just a diet or a supplement. It's a path to a healthier, more sustainable lifestyle. Try it, observe the results, adjust your habits, and remember, your health is built every day. Every choice matters, and you have the power to transform your life now.